The most successful people in the world are often the most haunted by a single, quiet feeling. The suspicion that they are missing the point of their own lives. That after all the striving, all the reaching, the thing they were actually searching for got lost somewhere along the way. It is the quietest tragedy, dressed in the loudest achievements. And it begins with a simple, innocent lie you tell yourself every single day. That happiness is waiting for you on the other side. You tell yourself it's just over that next ridge. When you get the promotion, when you lose the weight, when you fix your finances, your relationships, your past, when you finally become that version of yourself you've been constructing in your mind, the polished, complete, unshakable you. So you outsource your peace. You send your joy ahead of you, into a future that does not exist, held by a person who is not you. And you are left here, in the present moment, with nothing but a ticket stub, a receipt for a transaction that never completes. The present becomes a waiting room, a place of endurance, a hallway you sprint through, eyes fixed on a door at the far end, oblivious to the rooms you are passing, the windows, the light falling on the floor right where you stand. You turn today into a sacrifice, a down payment. You mortgage your current aliveness for a fantasy of future fulfillment. And tomorrow, when it arrives, it is already transformed into another today, another waiting room. And the goal has once again moved. The finish line is made of smoke. You are running on a track that elongates with every step. The irony is so brutal, it could break your heart if you let yourself feel it. You stand on the roof of your own life. You have built this structure, floor by floor, through effort and grit and nights of worry. And instead of looking at the view from where you are peering through a telescope, scanning the distant horizon for a feeling that can only be generated here, under your own skin. You are searching the future for a sensation that is only available in the present tense. Happiness does not live in outcomes. Outcomes are brief fireworks, a flash of light, a boom of sound, and then darkness that feels even deeper. Happiness lives in contact, in the weight of your body in a chair, in the slow, deliberate passage of a single breath into your lungs and out again, in the stillness between thoughts. But the mind despises stillness. Stillness offers it no leverage, no illusion of control. So it time travels. It calls this journey ambition. It calls it planning. It calls it responsibility. It dresses up its escape in noble clothing. But often underneath the fine fabric, it is just avoidance. Not laziness, not weakness. A sophisticated, elegant avoidance of being fully here, with what is unfinished, with what is imperfect, with what is unresolved and tender and real. The future is a pristine country. It feels safer simply because it hasn't had the chance to disappoint you yet. It is a blank page, and you are convinced you will write a better story on it than the one you are currently living. So you chase it, and while you are chasing, your life keeps happening without you. The sun sets, a child laughs, your own hand rests on a table, a bird calls, and you are a ghost in your own experience, translucent, barely feeling any of it, because your consciousness is 100 miles ahead, laying groundwork for a moment that will never actually arrive. This is the great silent suffering. It has no dramatic wounds. It bleeds internally. It is the ache of absence in the midst of presence. And you can carry it for decades, this quiet deferral of your own life, thinking it is discipline, thinking it is maturity. The work still matters. Growth still matters. Discipline still matters. But they are not the destination. They are the clay. If you cannot feel your own hands in the clay, if you cannot appreciate the texture and the possibility of the material right now, then what are you building for? If you cannot feel alive now, in this breath, no version of success will ever fix that. No title, no number in a bank account, No external validation can implant the feeling of being here into a soul that has trained itself to be eternally elsewhere. The present moment is not a reward for good behavior. It is not a prize you unlock after completing all your tasks. It is the only place where life ever actually touches you. It is the sole point of contact between your consciousness and the universe. To abandon it is to abandon life itself. The shift out of this does not come from adding another task to your list. It does not come from trying harder to be happy. It comes from a single, quiet, internal recalibration. A one change. Not a change to your circumstances, but a change to your point of focus. A change to what you are willing to notice. It is the decision, in the middle of the chase, to stop. Ajay. Not to quit your goals, but to interrupt the hallucination that your worth is tied to them. It is the courage to lower the telescope from the distant horizon and to look with naked eyes at what is already here, on the roof where you stand. It is the realization that the future you are seeking is made of the same raw material as the present you are ignoring. Moments. And you only ever have one moment at a time. This one change is irreversible. It is not a mood. It is an awakening. Once you see that you have been starving while sitting at a banquet, you cannot unsee it. Once you feel, even for 5 seconds, the profound relief of being exactly where you are, without mentally being somewhere else, it creates a new neural pathway, a new possibility. It starts as a whisper, a pause between emails to actually taste the coffee, a decision to feel your feet on the ground during a stressful walk, to notice the air, to hear a sound without immediately labeling it. It is the deliberate anchoring of your awareness in the sensory reality of now. This is not passive. It is the most active thing you can do. It is taking back the helm of your own attention from a mind that has been hijacked by a phantom future. You begin to build a new relationship with time. You stop seeing the present as a barrier between you and your better life. You start to see it as the very ground from which any good life must grow. Your goals become things you move toward from a place of fullness, not from a place of lack. You work not because you hate who you are, but because you care for who you are becoming. The striving loses its desperation. It gains a kind of grace, and in that space, happiness ceases to be a distant destination. It becomes a quality of attention. It is found in the contact of your hand with the steering wheel, in the weight of a tool in your grip, in the stillness of an early morning before the world wakes. It is found not by reaching farther, but by finally stopping, just for a breath, long enough to notice the profound and simple miracle of where you already are. You have endured so much waiting. You have practiced the sacrifice of now for a mythical later with the devotion of a monk. That endurance is not wasted. That strength is real. Now, take a fraction of that strength and turn it inward, not to build another future, but to occupy your present. Your one change is waiting for you in the next ordinary moment. It is in the very next breath you take. Do not rush past it to get to this sentence's end. Feel it. The inhale, the exhale. That is the fundamental pulse of your aliveness. That is where everything always begins. Keep going, keep building, but do it from here. From this solid, unshakable ground of now, the only time you are ever actually alive.